Welcome to Chamber Chat. I am your host, Lisa Battiato, the Executive Director of the Greater Beech Grove Chamber of Commerce. Today's show, main focus, is all about the Beech Party, coming up on Saturday, September 15th at 8th and Main Street. Our first guest today is Ben Brown. He's with Office 360. He is the Chamber's Board Advisor and Committee Chair for Beech Party. Welcome, Ben.
Thank you, Lisa. Great to be here.
Good to have you. Tell us a little bit to our audience of what is Beech Party.
Beech Party is a free concert, and as you mentioned the date, it takes place on Saturday of the Fall Festival, which has been going on for 50+ years, and has obviously a very big draw. And we teamed up with Beech Grove promoters and Beech Grove Eagles to hold this event during their Fall Festival, which we're very grateful for. Where it has again a built-in audience, and we're very happy for that. But I think Beech Party itself lends it to bringing in our own crowd of music lovers and people to the area that maybe haven't visited Beech Grove before.
I'm guessing people have to bring their own chairs, or
yeah, that's the great thing about it. Again, it is a free event, and so the chamber with some other great sponsors put this on. But it's fun throughout the day because it starts at 4 and ends about 11 o'clock. People from around the area will just start bringing their chairs and sit down, or maybe they're standing, and then later on maybe see some bring a chair. I'm going to camp out and watch this because it's very good music. So again, people can just bring lawn chairs out and sit on the main street and watch all the festivities go on.
What's the attendance like compared to like last year's?
Well, like any other event, it starts to gain a following, and we've grown every year. This will be the 4th installment of the Beech Party, my 3rd year for my involvement. But again, it's just something I think that has grown, and more people have gotten to know it. And with your kind efforts through the chamber and putting it on social media too, we've had some people that have been around Beech Grove for a while that have replied to, I think, LinkedIn or Facebook and said, I'm going to make sure I attend this year. And there's just a number of people that I have come across and talked to throughout the year that have been the last 2 or 3 years and keep on asking me, when's the Beech Party? When's the Beech Party? So again, I think we know that it's gaining popularity for the folks around Beech Grove and surrounding areas. So
your role as chairman of the Beech Party, what does that entail? What is your job?
Well, in co-chair, so there's myself and then Tony Tusher, who of course is really one of the founders of the Beech Party, and he and I both have a great affinity for music and love of music. But our roles are essentially making sure the whole committee, which is about half a dozen folks from the Beech Grove promoters, the Eagles, and Greater Beech Grove Chamber of Commerce, to make sure we get the bands, make sure we get the staging, all the lighting, all the things that are in place, all the logistics that go into it. There's so many things behind the scenes that lead up to the actual Beech Party itself, and people would never understand how much work really goes into this. Posters have to be made, radio ads have to be done, and so all those things just take a lot of time and effort, and just sweat equity, I guess, to a large degree for Tony and I. We kind of, again, being co-chairs, really got to make sure all the T's are crossed, I's dotted, and that kind of thing to make this happen, come together.
Sounds like you're pretty passionate about it. And tell us a little bit more about your love of music, where that all start from. And
has to have started with my mom. She's always been involved in music, played piano, and has been involved in music at church. And my parents also started Buck Creek Players, and so again, their love of theater and music led them to help start Buck Creek Players. And my brother and some friends, when we were younger, had our own little group. We went around and sang at different, if ever folks that have been around a while in the South Side in particular, remember Aristos. We used to go and sing there with Jimmy McDaniels, who of course was a great jazz musician. But that, and been in some plays and different things through Buck Creek Players and other outlets, and been actually in performance of Carmen, of all things, when it was back at Indiana Central. So that, and I'm involved in music at our church. So again, it's been a big part of my life, and I love all genres of music, as I know Tony does. And again, this is just, it's great fun for us, and it's great to see it come to fruition the day of, and the big relief when it's all gets started at 4 o'clock. But yeah, so again, music's been a big part of my life, and this is just an extension of that.
Sounds like a labor of love by you and Tony.
Absolutely.
So really appreciate you bringing that passion to the chamber and sharing it with everyone and putting on a good event.
Happy to do it.
What other, I know you have sponsors for the event. You have a VIP tent, I believe, this year. Can you tell us a little bit about the VIP tent and how that works?
Yeah, the VIP tent started last year, and we got the idea that maybe some of our members and corporate sponsors would like a little different experience. So we have put up a tent starting last year, and again we'll do it this year for all our sponsors that want to have a table at the VIP tent. And so it allows them a unique opportunity to do one of two things, or maybe a combination thereof, is either to invite some of their staff or employees to sit back and have their own table and chairs in a comfortable setting in the tent, and and be waited on by the staff or the Eagles, and have some beverages and some food. And if they happen to hear one of their favorite songs that one of the bands is playing, they can always just run out to the street and dance in front of the stage, whatever they like to do. And then when they get tired, they can go back and have a nice place to sit and relax again. So again, it's a nice experience for our members that want to participate in that, and they can also use it as a marketing tool and maybe invite some clients to it as well. So again, I see that as really as a twofold scenario for our members to take advantage of, whichever way they see fit for their business.
Is there a limited number of tables? And do you have any tables available this year?
Yes, but we're actually selling quicker even than last year. Again, it's gaining popularity, and so I only have 4 tables left. So if there's any businesses out there, or even families that want to say, I'd love to do that, we welcome them, and they'll have credentials and everything to be able to get into the tent, and they'll have, again, a table for 10 folks with 10 credentials for that night.
You mentioned the stage and dancing in front of the stage. In lieu of last year's tragic events at the State Fair, is there anything different that's been done for this year's event versus last year's event that you had to do, or? Yeah,
I think everybody has to be more cognizant of what's going on, and this year in particular with the State Fire Marshal and Homeland Security, making sure the proper permits are there. And there's different requirements for not only just the staging, but also the components around that, being the lighting, the trusses, a roof, tents. So all those kind of things, again, we're making sure we were in contact with Homeland Security and what permits needed to be filled out. With our situation, our stage is not quite large enough to need a permit for the actual stage itself and have barricades around it, but the lighting and trusses become an issue, because if you do have inclement weather, you want to make sure the public safety is first and foremost on your mind. And so part of that process is not only submitting a permit to Homeland Security, but also drawings and renderings of the stage itself and the lighting and trusses and the roof, and then finally a plan of action. So in case there is inclement weather, again, hopefully common sense always prevails in those situations. But again, weather is so unpredictable. But that's probably the biggest thing, is we're going to make sure that we're in touch with the weather folks here in Indianapolis. And also, it's great now with smartphones, you can really track radar instantaneously to see what's going on. So again, that'll be a big thing what we do this year. Really the week leading up to the event, making sure what the future forecast is, day before, morning of, and then hopefully it's clear sailing. By that time, you kind of know what's going to be happening. But again, in case of inclement weather, we have a plan in place to make sure the public safety is first.
The one thing I know from working down there on Main Street, you have a lot of people down there, and you have everything set up. Where are people going to park at?
Well, obviously, again, folks that have been around the Fall Festival for a long time, or the fireworks, which just happened this past weekend, along the streets, up and down the north streets being the numbered streets. But this year, one thing new we've added, and again, we have such a great partner, I can't stress enough, with Beech Grove Schools. And they have offered to do a shuttle service for us for the first time. So I'm really excited to offer this to anyone. It can be our members, it can be folks from other communities that want to come in and aren't familiar with Beech Grove. And that's probably the biggest thing, is they'll be able to park at Beech Grove Middle School at 1248 Buffalo Street, which is just north of Albany and just east of 13th. And so they have a big parking lot in the back part of the school. We'll have signage there so people can find it very easily, and the shuttle will run approximately every 20 to 30 minutes. It'll run from 4 p.m. until midnight. So again, it's a great way, especially if it would be maybe a little mist or something. It's great for them to park and not have to worry about walking several blocks to get to the beach party. We'll actually have transportation for them, and then at the end of the evening as well.
That's great. That's great service, and hopefully people take advantage of it.
Yeah, I really hope so. Again, it'll relieve the tension of trying to parallel park, which a lot of people don't find such a fun task. And we're excited that they made that offer to us, and I hope people take advantage of it more than anything. But we'll be advertising that as well on the radio and on our posters that we put out in some of the retail businesses around the area.
Okay, remind us again the date and the location, and maybe provide the band lineup.
Again, Saturday, September 15th, The first band will be JDRC starting at 4 p.m. and then we run up until 11 o'clock. And we have a couple bands back again. One has changed just a little bit, which is Doug Henthorn, and a lot of people, if they know that name or sounds familiar, Doug was one of the founding members of Healing Sixes, who have played in our event last couple of years, who just are awesome. Love their sound, just a great band. And so Doug is out on his own with a new band called Henthorn LLC, and so he'll be second after JDRC. And then next up, a band familiar to a lot of folks around here is Pure Gold. Love having them back. They were not here last year with us, but they just got done again playing at the fireworks this past weekend, Beach Grove Fireworks in the park. And again, great following, great band, a lot of fun, and we're looking forward to having them back again. And then our headliner, if folks have not seen him before, but the name may sound familiar, is Gene Deere. We had him last year. He's a local guy, great blues guy. And there's no better guitarist that I've seen around in a long time than Gene Deere. And so we're looking so forward to having him as our headliner this year, and hope people will enjoy him, as I know they probably will if they've not heard him before. But again, he plays at Slippery Noodle all the time, Rathskeller, and again, we're just very fortunate that he has agreed to be our headliner for this year.
I got to experience Gene Deere for the first time at our Chamber After Hour event a couple weekends ago, and he was really good. First time I'd heard him.
Yeah, and the thing that's neat about that Zinc event that we did is it was just he and his bass player. And so you're kind of out there on your own when you do that, and you don't have some of the background, especially the drums, to drive that rhythm and that melody. And he was spot on, and just again, phenomenal guitar player, and people just wowed. Yeah, he did take a request. He took requests. Yeah, that was
wasn't even mine. But thank you for being our guest today, Ben. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And I'm looking forward to attending. First time attending Beech Party as the executive director, so I'm looking forward to all the fun and festivities and hearing the band, and really appreciate your labor of love that you and Tony put into this event. And I know from doing events that is not an easy thing to do, but greatly appreciated.
Yeah, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say that none of it really could be done without sponsors, right? Again, it costs money. This is a free event for the community, and that's the biggest thing I can stress. People sometimes think free, it's probably not that great, but folks, I'm telling you, you need to come out to this. It's just some great bands and just a great time. But we were so happy this year that Teachers Credit Union is back as a sponsor, and they're actually our main sponsor this year, and I'll let them talk a little bit more about that. I know they're coming up next. But they and the Beech Grove Promoters, Beech Grove Eagles, 92.3 WTTS is our radio partner, and then we also have Southsider Voice and the Southside Times are two local papers, which again, we're so grateful to them to be involved with this event.
Definitely, thank you so much.
Great.
We are going to take a short break, and we'll be back with our guests, Lindsay Wirtz and Sheila Corey with Teachers Credit Union. Thank you. Welcome back to Chamber Chat, and our guests for this segment is Sheila Corey and Lindsay Wirtz, both with Teachers Credit Union. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about Teachers Credit Union. Give us a background and your branches.
Absolutely. I'm the manager of the Emerson Avenue branch and also the Southport Myers branch. Sheila Corey is the assistant at both branches. A little bit about Teachers Credit Union. We were started 80 years ago by 7 teachers out of South Bend, Indiana, and they came together to provide lending to each other, and from there we've grown to be the largest credit union in the state of Indiana. And we are here for our teachers, and we're open to the public in order to join and open membership with us.
80 years is a long time. I had no idea.
Absolutely.
I'm a credit union member, so I had no clue how, wow, we're sitting all the time. Where's your headquarters?
Out of South Bend, yes. We have, in Central Indiana, we have over 15 branches. In total, we have over 50 branches.
Very good. What is the TCU banking philosophy? Is there a certain philosophy that they live by, or?
Absolutely. You know, it's really about putting our members first. We're here to do business for our members, for our communities, and to make an impact financially so that everyone can grow and perspire to be financially savvy and fit for their own needs.
So why did, or how, sorry, my question is, how long has the TCU branch been on Emerson? And it pretty relatively, has been around that long, has it?
You know, we've actually been there on Emerson since the early 90s. Yeah.
Longer than I remember. I know TCU is really big in the community and in the involvement, particularly I know personally with the Beech Party. Why is being involved in the community so important?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, our philosophy is putting members first, and that's really, in order to do that, you have to be able to give back. And one way of doing that is being a part of the Beech Party. The great thing, again, it's free to the community, and for us to be a part of something of that nature and to truly give back so that everyone has an opportunity to experience the fun and the events going on is why we are part of this.
Have you, either one of you, attended Beech Party? And if you had, what was your experience like? And what did you think about it? Kind of live it, and, you know, what your perception of it would be before you'd ever attend, and what it actually was after you attended.
Sure. I'll go ahead and answer first, and then Sheila, you can definitely give your opinion of it as well. Last year was our first time taking part in the Beech Party, and going into it, we didn't really know what to expect, but after being a part of it and seeing the families gathering, and then that happening all throughout the day, and the different activities and the festivities going on that led into the evening hours of the bands playing, was just a great environment to be in, and also a fun way of reaching out to the local community. And from doing so last year and seeing how well attended the Beech Party truly is, it was a great way as an organization to take part and be able to help sponsor it so that it can continue to take place.
Yeah, last year it was my first time also, and you know, we really believe in Beech Grove community and of course Beech Grove schools, because they're the Teachers Credit Union. We definitely believe in education, so we definitely want to be part of something that big, of course, with the community and being able to see what it's all about. We know you guys have a great fireworks celebration on the 4th of July, so I kind of knew it'd be something big, and I was excited to be involved with that. So when I went and heard the bands, I thought it was really awesome. It's something I would attend even if I didn't, we didn't sponsor it, so I thought it was great.
I know as a chamber, we really appreciate your sponsorship and supporting our event. Like Ben had said earlier in the segment, you know, the event's free, and it does take a lot of sponsorship money to put on the event, so we truly appreciate it. In addition to the Beech Party, what kind of other community involvement do you have?
Absolutely. We are involved with the different townships in order to give back to the teachers, give back to the staff and the students. We go in and we volunteer hours of our time for our staff members, and we do a read-up program where we volunteer an hour a week within some of the different schools here locally. And really anything within the community that directly relates back to helping students, helping teachers strive. We love to hear of those opportunities and take part in hundreds of opportunities each year. Yeah.
That with the economy and stuff, people probably, seems like a lot more people are wanting money and stuff and request, and so it's nice that you're still able to give back to the community. The Beech Party is coming up on Saturday, September 15th, and are you two ladies attending?
Yeah, definitely. I'll be there, and I'm excited to hear Jean Deere, so I'm excited.
Absolutely. We will have a booth available, so please stop by and visit the Teachers Credit Union booth. We will also be doing an Enter to Win that day. Anyone who's attending and comes to the booth to register, we will be giving away a gas grill, so it will go into the beach summer theme.
Very nice. Thank you so much. What is your favorite? Do you have a favorite music genre or something? So we're talking about music. A little personal.
Sure. We were a part of this last year, and this question came up.
Yeah, so you should rehearse this and have it down, right?
Yes. Last year it was Justin Bieber, because that's what my daughter was into. But
Hope you've grown from that.
Yes, we've grown this year. I really am a fan of music of all genres. when it comes to more of your 80s rock and roll bands, I'm really into that.
And you, Sheila?
Actually, 60s, 70s, and 80s. I really love the rock and roll music, and I'm also a country fan. Grew up on bluegrass music.
So you have a favorite artist? You got asked that last year too, but go ahead. You already said kind of yours, but is there a specific artist though? Because you did say it wasn't Justin Bieber, but
Well, I would say,
we got to throw some names around here.
sure. Band-wise, I will say in my car now I have Journey, so always a fan of that.
And you, Sheila?
Well,
What particular country music do you like in 60s, 70s, and 80s music?
Oh, well, you know, they just had Def Leppard and
Pour some
Queen.
sugar on me, I know it.
Queen is one of my favorites, and country music, of course. There's probably not any country music that I don't like, but Toby Keith's my favorite.
Nice.
Nice.
Will we find you both around the VIP tent at Beech Party?
Absolutely, we'll be there.
Very nice. Well, look forward to it. Thank you again for your support for the Beech Party. And thank you, Lindsay and Sheila, for joining me today, in addition to Ben. We look forward to Beech Party on Saturday, September 15th, beginning at 4 o'clock at 8th and Main Street, right across from Napoli Villa. Come down, bring your chairs, and hope you can enjoy the festivities, and come by and talk with the Teachers Credit Union booth and enter to win a grill. And before we leave, I also want to thank, in addition to my guests, I want to thank Comcast Business Class in the Beech Grove High School and the students who are the sponsors of this Chamber Chat and who help put this whole thing together and attempt to make me look good. So I really, really appreciate it. Until next time, we'll see you again next month. Now it's time for the Chamber and community events. The next Chamber Luncheon is Thursday, September 13th from 11:30 to 1. September's luncheon is a little different than prior months. We will be at the Bennington Inn Retreat and Conference Center at 1402 Southern Avenue. And our speaker will be C.J. McClanahan. He is the Reachmore founder and president. The event starts at 11:30. Members are $10, non-members $15. First-time guests are free. The Beech Grove High School Wrestling Club Golf Scramble is coming up on Saturday, September 8, 2012 at the Bella Vista Golf Club. It's a 1:30 shotgun start. Please contact Scott Dawson at 341-3467 for more information. The Beech Party, again, is going to be on Saturday, September 15th from 4 to 11 p.m. at 8th and Main Street, sponsored by Teachers Credit Union. Festivities begin with the Beech Party at 4 o'clock, and when the first band takes a stage at JDRC, there is a free park and ride from 4 to midnight at Beech Grove Middle School. On Saturday, September 29th, the Angels of Grace, a celebration of women will be at Primo's Banquet and Conference Center, which is at 2615 National Avenue in Indianapolis. The celebration begins at 11 a.m. and includes a fashion show, buffet luncheon, and awards program. WTHR 13 anchor person Mary Mills is the MC. Proceeds benefit the Retreat Ministry at 1402 Southern Avenue. Tickets are $35 each or $245 for a table of 8. For more information about sponsoring a table, call the Benedictine Inn at 788-7581. A new event for the Chamber will happen on Wednesday, October 17th from 7:30 to 9 a.m. The Chamber is going to be having a Chamber networking breakfast with Gary Dick. Chamber members and non-Chamber members are invited to enjoy a scrumptious breakfast and make connections and get the opportunity to hear Gary Dick. The breakfast will be at Hornet Park Community Center, which is located at 5245 Hornet Avenue. Please RSVP by October 15th to gbgcoc@beechgrove.com. For more information about Greater Beech Grove Chamber of Commerce events or to become a member, please call 317-803-9109 or send an email to gbgcoc@beechgrove.com, or information can be found at the Chamber's website at www.beechgrovechamber.org. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you next month.